1, 2, 3. What's up, you guys?
What up?
We are back with another episode of Slow to Speak podcast.
Folks.
It's your girl Des and we're back with another episode. Are you ready to get deep today? Are you ready?
Are you ready? I don't know if I'm ready, but
Are
I'm
you
ready.
I actually am excited. I feel like I say this every episode, but guys, I really do
It's
be
the
excited
truth.
about the topics because I come up with them.
Yes, she does.
No, this one I hold near and dear to my heart. So a couple of episodes ago, or maybe it was the last one, I don't know. But we talked about entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And I think the basis of our conversation was, well, how do you know when to leave your 9 to 5 to get into it? So as an entrepreneur, both of us, you know, we are. One thing that we're super familiar with, or that is no stranger to us, is working hard.
Yeah.
And I have to reiterate, I'm not saying that if you're in a 9 to 5, you work less hard.
Right.
But I am saying a 9 to 5 is nothing compared to a 24/7.
It's different. That's just like, it's different. Right?
Okay?
A 24/7 fact.
And 9 to 5, 24/7, two different things.
Yeah.
As someone that has done both, personally, if you asked me,
Yeah. You prefer.
9 to 5 gonna hit every time.
They go come
Because
for you.
I work for a Jewish company, and they don't pay overtime.
So, and that's.
Baby,
go
let me
ahead.
tell you something.
Not the
When
face.
that clock strike 6,
That's it.
the building is closed.
You're
You can
done.
stay if you want to. You just not getting out.
Depending on the company too, the type of company, because I worked for a Jewish company one time, and you had to pack up. You pack up 30 minutes before.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It doesn't get to 6
I
and then you
thought I
pack
was
up.
delusional. Not, mind you, I'm thinking my first day on the job. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna show them I'm dedicated. I'm
Yeah,
gonna stay back an
yeah.
extra 5 minutes. Yo, 5:55. All I'm hearing is like laptops
Yeah, clack,
closing,
clack, clack.
like things. Everybody stood
Yeah,
up, and
yeah.
I'm like,
What's going
did
on?
I miss an episode? What the hell? It was like the Matrix. Like everybody's
On point.
5:55, and all you hear is, "All right, have a good night. Have a good night. Have a good night."
And you there trying to look
I'm there
extra.
like, "Ah!"
Don't leave me.
Bro, that was insane. But I was like, oh, I love this. They really, like, my boss leaves it for me. He'd be like, okay, Destiny, have a good. I'm like,
That's it.
okay,
It's
just
done.
forget the report, huh? Like, I'll just figure it out.
Tomorrow.
So, we're no stranger to working hard, you know, in our 24/7 jobs. Do you feel in today's culture, because another thing that we kind of spoke on it briefly before we started recording, there's this thing about entrepreneurship. Like, people try to, like, guilt you into, like,
Yeah.
like if you have a 9 to 5, it's terrible, and
big
you're
culture
so
online.
so much less than I am because, you know, you're working for the man or
Yeah.
whatever, which is, it's false.
I'll tell you something I heard.
Do
will
you
believe it.
feel as though hustle culture has become the norm? And when I say the norm, I mean it is normal in where we are in America.
Yeah.
Because then what we're gonna do later on is make a comparison. Because I know you have some things to say about Trinidad's work culture
Yeah.
compared to here. I know that
Yeah.
there's a difference. He's Trinidadian, not
Trinity
Ghanaian.
Boone.
Just so y'all know.
Ga-
So, yeah, do you believe that overworking has become normal, and has self-care or rest become demonized in today's culture? Before you answer that, I'm gonna let you simmer on it very quickly. Like, comment, share, and subscribe
You better.
if you're here at this point.
Yes.
So for those of you that don't know,
There's a motorcycle. We in the hood.
oh, y'all could hear that? They could hear that?
Go ahead.
For those of you that don't know, hustle culture is basically the idea. It promotes overworking,
Yes.
and it basically says you can't reach your goals unless you deny yourself
Work
care.
like a dog.
And Rest it's that what do you say? You sleep when you're dead.
Yeah.
All of that stuff.
You know,
Like,
it's,
so it's promoting the idea that like you have to
work,
overwork
work,
and burn
work.
yourself out to get to your professional goals. So
Or to live happy, or
to live a
enjoy
good life, or and you always have to be busy. You
Yeah.
always have, and if you're not busy, you're not doing enough.
Yeah.
You're not getting forward in life. That's hustle culture. So, do you feel like it's normalized?
Hustle culture is such BS.
Oh,
And I'm very
strong way to
serious.
start.
Yeah, as she mentioned, entrepreneurship, yeah. But hustle culture is such BS. Hustle culture is overrated because we have this idea that we believe, like you said, you're supposed to go, 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 go. And if you're not doing that, then you know you're not enjoying life, which is so false.
Yeah.
I personally know people that work 9 to 5s. And when I say this whole 9 to 5 thing, man, we're not just talking about people working at McDonald's or people working in what do you call it? Minimum wage jobs. 9 to 5, doctors work 9 to 5. Some of them. There are
Well,
doctors that are on call.
yeah,
there are
they're-
nurses that work regular 9 to 5 type shifts. All right, they will probably go in for 12
10
hours,
hours, yeah,
but they
yeah.
do it and then they have 3 days
Off
off.
days, yeah.
Right, so they're going on a regular
rotating.
schedule. Basically, that's what it means. And I don't know why people started demonizing it, but I actually I know why. It's because they couldn't make money from it. Because when they promote that this is not the way of life, I join my free mailing list, and then they put you into a paid thing of how to not live that life, and they know you're never going to go through it, and they just made $25 from 5,000 people, and that's how they're not working. I'm just saying, it's a thing on the internet to tug at people's, because moving up the ladder when you're in your 20s, it's tough because you feel like
Yes.
you're seeing people doing things that you want to do, you can't do it. You just came out of high school days and college days where, you know, things were different. Some people are living with their parents in college,
Yeah.
right? And you're like, listen, okay, I feel like I'm always struggling. I was done with school and I'm still out here. My degree is not doing anything for me. People not realizing unless you get, before your degree is done, unless you start doing an internship in something, you're gonna have to, it's gonna struggle a little bit to get there.
Yeah.
But the idea that you have to hustle, it's an American thing.
That's crazy. But you know what's crazier? You looking for loungewear and not knowing about Cotton Isles. Yeah, let me put you on. If you're looking for luxury loungewear, I'm talking high-end quality, hella comfort, effortless style. Look no further. Cotton Isle is here for you. If you want some money off, use code STSP and look and feel amazing for every moment of your day. Now, back to the podcast.
Whew,
It's
you
an
said it-
American
you said it
thing.
before I did.
I don't know if anybody remember. Oprah Winfrey went to Australia when she was doing an international tour, and she asked a family. She stayed at the family's, well, not stayed, but had like her show at the family's backyard or whatever. And the family was like, "We don't understand why Americans are always working." Listen, I went to Northern Ireland. It was a Saturday into a Sunday. Sunday, I was like, let me go see what it has to do. I have a photo in the middle of the street. There are no cars in a public built-up urban area. Sundays, they don't work.
In Guyana, that's how it is too.
So-
I don't know about Trinidad.
Trinidad is fastly
Sundays are
becoming
slow.
Trinidad fastly. Tobago is still
Yes.
older and
Okay.
still, you know, kind of in that way, but Trinidad is slowly, Sundays, people are doing a lot of work. Not the government agencies. Nowhere government agencies work on
Yeah.
Sunday. But I'm just saying that when I went to Northern Ireland, I was like, wow. Because America, that's not how it is. And we kind of expect it now in America.
24/7,
You know, like, you know, the day after Thanksgiving, people don't even want to close no more on the Thanksgiving Thursday. But that's another story. I just think that it's false. It's a false ideology. However, when you're starting off a business, when you're starting off anything new, you need to gain ground. So you need to put in a little few extra hours. You need to establish yourself. So let's say I'll stick to photography because that's what I know. Desno's makeup and dance and other things. But in photography, that's why we end up shooting a lot for free in the beginning. Because I can be how great I am at shooting cans of paint in my kitchen, right? And then I evolved to shooting my cousin. If I don't go out there, people will never see and know what I can do. So you get people to shoot for free and you keep practicing, you get better, but that's the work you put in. It's a rolling ball of moss and it gets bigger and bigger. But then your goal should be like, okay, I'm a photographer now. I have gigs coming in. Let me see if I can hire another photographer. And what that's going to do is keep money coming
up
in your
your
business.
time.
You get a little
Yeah.
less money, but you're hiring somebody, you free up time. And then what your goal is to have so many other people working for you that you're on the other end, just like doing the business end of thing, keeping the branding, making sure people are sticking, the company policy is being done. You don't have to be out there working. There's this guy, I can't remember his name. If I do, I'll put up his podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He does one-on-one stuff, and the hot seat he calls it.
Mm-hmm.
And he always talks to these entrepreneurs, and he's like, "You just love to hustle, huh? So you just feel so good doing 2 and 3 jobs." He's like, you don't have to live like that. You can get people to work for you, and you can work a little bit less. And I believe that that's where we should be heading. That's how we should always think. Like when money's coming in. And that's because there are 9-to-5 jobs that you have to work hard too.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, for sure.
So the goal is, no matter where it is, you got to find a way. If you're working 9-to-5 and you got to work hard, invest your money and let some of that return come. And then you probably don't have to work that much overtime. And take a few more vacation trips. But I was talking a little bit long. That's how I
true.
feel.
No, but I knew this stuff would do that. I knew this stuff would do that. So everything you said, totally agree with.
Yeah.
I also want to point out, oh God, so I'm going to take it a couple of different
Go.
ways, right?
Because you might trigger some stuff that I'm not thinking about.
So at first you said
Mm-hmm.
it's BS,
Full BS.
right? I agree.
Believing that, and let me be clear,
Mm-hmm.
it's BS believing that the only way to live a comfortable, happy, enjoyable life is to hustle.
Yeah,
Continue.
that's not true.
Go ahead.
Also, I think as individuals,
Mm-hmm.
what we need to do is assess one, how we're spending our time,
Mm-hmm.
because if you're intentional about the moves you make,
Mm-hmm.
you will not have to be hustling 24/7. If you're moving
Yeah.
the right way,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to assess how you're spending your time and how intentional you are about your time,
Mm-hmm.
but also what exactly are your goals and who set that standard for you?
Right.
Like, a lot of people, they're doing all this, maybe to like be rich. I don't know.
Whatever
I don't even
is-
think
whatever
they
the end
know.
goal, right.
Like, why? Like, I genuinely
It's just
don't think
because-
they actually. I think it's just
Because
how
I'm
it
supposed
is,
to,
you
because
know.
I'm hearing it.
But I will. It is an American thing.
Very
It
American
100% is an American
Very
thing.
American
I think
thing.
a lot of people look at immigrants and be like, "Oh, they work hard. They come here." No, they come here. Immigrants do. Let's be very clear. Hi, I'm Destiny. I'm an immigrant. Immigrants do that y'all see them doing. Oh, the Mexicans do this, and oh, the Haitians do this, and they come here and they work and they take up all the jobs and
Blah, blah, blah.
okay. They do that because they're taking advantage of
Yes.
opportunities that do not exist where they
Exactly.
originate from.
Exactly.
But let's be very clear. Our cultures are not set up like that.
No.
We come here and then get on that
Yeah.
hamster wheel hoping for a better outcome and a
Mm-hmm.
better future. And to be frank, we're doing it so our kids don't have to work as hard.
Exactly.
That's the point,
Yeah.
right? But what I've noticed is in America, hustle culture is so damaging.
It is.
When you meet an American,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing I noticed once I came here, like when I came here,
Mm-hmm.
I thought Americans just look sad.
Yeah.
I was like, they look so depressed.
Can I say something?
Like just from out, yeah.
So when the first time I came here, I'm not even living here.
Yeah.
Visited here.
Visiting.
So this is me coming to visit my girlfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm from, people walk in the street, you'll say hello, you say good morning.
Yeah.
The first thing, forget good hello and good morning. You see somebody coming, you make eye contact.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I noticed, living over here in East Orange, people would just be like, not wanting to look at you. And they had this grumpy kind of, and guess what I did? I was like, well, I don't want to see my other place. I put on the same type of grumpy look too.
You adapt.
Because
You
I'm
adapt.
like,
Yeah,
why,
yeah.
why are people not just pleasantly in the face? Just your freaking face
Yeah.
can't be pleasant.
No, how
It's
we're
crazy.
raised, it's like usually you meet people in the street, you say hello, and
Yeah.
whatever. But not only are their demeanors like it looks like depressed
Yeah,
and suppressed.
yeah.
And I've derived that comes from this constant working to the point where like vacations is like glamorized.
Right. Simple
Like
things.
when you're in, I remember Guyana, people don't talk about vacations
No.
that much
No.
because we chill on the weekend. Like
Yeah.
there is no.
You drive to the
You don't think,
beach,
oh, I
you go-
can't
yeah.
wait for a vacation.
Yeah.
The way how I hear my coworkers talk about PTO, like it's gold,
Yeah.
a magical thing, like PTO. I didn't know PTO because
And-
I was an entrepreneur for a long
Yeah.
time. I heard about this magical PTO all my life, and I was like, y'all fiending over 14 days.
To me, it's not
Out of
even enough though.
306
Yeah.
Out of 365
It's like
days
14
a
days.
year,
Woo.
14. You know, Guyana PTO is 25.
Really?
Yes, and the higher up, my mom had 40 because she works a really good job.
Damn. I need to.
Guyana's PTO is like 20. I
nice.
think 20 minimum.
Yeah.
20 is
Wait,
like
when
if
I
you
heard
do
14,
have a ring, a
I'm like,
rinky
14
dink.
is 14 is not even that
we
much. I was like,
listen, guys.
man.
Let's do the math, guys. Let's do the math.
Yeah.
5 days
In
a
1
week,
year, you only have 14.
4 weeks a month, 12 months a year.
I'll be using
Out
my-
of all of that, you only get 14 days. Let's be for real. That is not
I'll
enough.
be using my sick days in place of vacation days.
But this is what I mean. This is what hustle culture does.
Yeah.
It makes us delusional to think, oh, 14 days PTO was like a
Like,
great
whoa.
deal
Yeah. It's
for
like,
what
you
we're
deserve
doing.
better.
Not only that, but I've noticed the hours have shifted. It used to be 9 to 5. It's 9 to 6 now.
really?
The average hours is either 8 to 5 or 9 to
6.
6. It's added.
You know
but
what's-
that's a conversation for another day. I don't want to
Can I add
segue
something,
too
though?
much. Yeah.
The first time I came here and realized you don't get your hour or 30 minutes break in your 8 hours, I was devastated.
Oh, and that's another thing.
I was like, what? I have to work
30
minutes
minute-
extra because my
No,
30
no,
minutes
no.
is not part
But
of my
why
8
is
hours?
it 30 minutes?
That's ridiculous too.
That
I don't know
me
why
beat.
America is accepting 30 minutes for lunch is not acceptable.
The 30
Not
minutes for
acceptable.
lunch and then the
acceptable.
14 days a year?
That 30 minutes was like, I was like, and then knowing
Americans are drained. Like no wonder a lot of them like they're not walking in the street happy
No.
and excited.
No.
But I get it. Like
because
this culture has
Yeah.
literally squeezed them dry. And by them, I'm including myself too, guys. I'm a part of this. Like the culture is literally, it's squeezing every last drop out of us. And it's like, again, vacations are glamorized. Holidays are glamorized. People are literally, I knew it was bad when I'm living at home with my parents. I'm never moving out. Living at home with my parents, and I don't see my parents unless it's the holidays. That's how
Right?
I knew it was bad.
yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
I knew hustle culture was bad.
Yeah.
How is it we're living in the same household
You don't see 'em.
and we
Go.
don't see each
Yeah.
other until the holidays or you know whatever
And
comes up.
there's a glamorization of overworking even in a 9 to 5 because people are like, oh, working 2 and 3 jobs is normal.
Oh yeah,
Don't tell me working
I
2 or
think
3
that
jobs
the
is normal.
average American has 2 jobs.
At least 2 jobs.
Yeah.
It's like that is instead of teaching
That's
people money management, instead of teaching people discipline, it's like, oh yeah, just work more. That's not normal. That's why you're overstressed. That's why you're overworked.
I think the issue is the
It's-
pay.
it's
I feel like even if we got money management, if you're getting paid, and this is the crazy part, my income is middle class. I don't know how. I don't feel like a middle classer. I'll tell you that right
and you're
now.
living with your parents, which is crazy.
And I'm living with my
That's crazy.
parents.
Think that's crazy? Guess what's crazy? You're a model and you don't have digitals and you don't have a portfolio or any sort of images at all. How are you going to get booked? How are you going to get signed? The code that I have right here, use it and you'll get a discount. These are very important if you're a model. Make sure you get them. Don't miss out.
So,
That is crazy.
again, never moving now. I ain't paying for no apartment. No.
And
But
that's a whole other thing
uh,
too.
who-
the individuality and having to run out of home.
no,
But
that's
anyways,
a different thing.
Different topic.
But yeah, like what I make is middle class,
Mm-hmm.
but there are people making like $20,000 a year.
Yeah. When I started, I was
$30,000 a
doing
year.
like 37.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So manage what money? By
Well-
the time you pay rent, you pay taxes, you do childcare. God forbid
Oh,
you have
don't
a
even get to the
child.
childcare.
There
That's
is no
crazy.
money to manage. You're already in the red. The conversation is about money though, so I'm gonna keep the main thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? What I was gonna say is, so yeah, it's squeezing Americans dry,
Mm-hmm.
and it's normalizing things that shouldn't be normal, such as again those very short breaks,
Yeah.
the whole vacation. You gotta wait all this time just to go on a vacation, and the vacation really not that long anyways,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like stuff like that. But then also, it's demonizing self-care and rest.
Yeah.
So if I want to take 5 days off of work, I'm seen as lazy. I don't want to work. If I'm at work and I don't want to do somebody else's job for them,
Yeah.
I'm lazy. I'm not a team player. Oh, I'm not, I'm not cut out for a fast-paced work environment.
Yeah.
And that's the cheat code. Don't sign up for no fast-paced nothing.
Yeah.
That's another word for we're understaffed and we're not willing
And we
to
can throw
spend our
anything at
money
you.
to hire the correct staff. So we're gonna make you do 3 jobs, even though it's just one.
I've heard people boast that, they work on their birthday.
No.
I take my birthday off every year.
I actually can't take my birthday off this year.
Why?
Well, how my blackout days? That's
Oh,
another
so it
thing
falls
that
on a blackout
I did
day.
not.
Damn.
No,
Yeah, so
I've never heard of a blackout day in Guyana. Just saying. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of a blackout day.
They do it to protect themselves. It's days that people usually take
they can't
vacation and the
come out
company
or whatever.
For us, where I work is a university, so we have blackout days a
Oh.
week before the semester starts, and I get it. But the whole idea of people being proud that they work on their birthday to me is dumb. But that's
No,
just
the
me.
whole idea that people
I
are
work on my
proud of
birthday. It's
working
like-
3-4 jobs and proud of working. Oh, I work Monday to Sunday. That's
60 hours
guys.
a week. I work 8.
Not only is hustle culture BS,
Yes, man.
it is demonic. And I know you're laughing, but I'm dead ass serious. It is so anti-Christ. If you're a believer, I want you to listen to me. This thing on?
Yes, it's on.
I want you to listen to me. Work culture. Oh, let me back it up. Hustle culture is highly demonic. There is nothing positive that comes from burning yourself out to meet a goal that society probably set for you. There's a reason God established the Sabbath. If God needed a day to rest after creating the universe, if you believe in God, you get it. If you don't, you don't. It's on you. But if even in theory, if God needed a day after 6 days,
Right. Who are you as man?
Who are you?
7 days a week. It's crazy with what you're saying. I remember, so I worked UPS for a year, right? An official 365, a little bit more than a year. It was at night. I had to go to my regular full-time job at the day. And so this year, certain things stood out to me that they weren't there last year because, one, I was overworked, duh. But I was like, wait a minute. I haven't said a prayer in the car in a minute. I was like, wait a minute, why? And I was like, oh, because the year that I worked there, I was so frustrated and
busy.
tired and exhausted.
Yeah.
I was like a zombie. In the house, when I quit the job, a day or two after, no, because I quit it on vacation. Don't do that. But anyways, I was just so frustrated. When I came back from vacation, when I quit, it was like 2 days in vacation and then back home. My wife was like, your whole demeanor changed like in just a few days. I'm like,
That's
excuse
what
me. I'm like, wait a
exhaustion will
minute,
do to you.
You observe that? She's like, yeah. She's like, you actually have a look. She's like, you would walk around the house grumpy. So think about me. I'm
Exhaustion does
doing
that
that
to
for the
you.
money for daycare, right? But the family is getting an uninvolved me, a grumpy me, somebody. I mean, the boys were really small, so they wouldn't pick up on it. But I have a wife that probably would not have certain conversations because she doesn't want to add anything to my plate. That's not normal. That shouldn't be
and
accepted
where
as
we're
normal.
from, again, it's not that we're not working hard in the islands or wherever else. We also prioritize hanging out with our families.
Oh, baby,
we
do.
prioritize
A good
games.
lime?
We what?
A good lime?
A good
Come on,
lime,
come
baby.
on. There were times I would be hanging out with my buddies like
we prioritize.
after we play ball, after we play
Yes,
basketball, we all stink on the street, but we
Drinking
talking
beer,
about stuff or whatever till 10,
sporting,
11, at
what?
night, and then you go to bed,
Yo, I stayed in
on.
Guyana for 4 months earlier this year, and it should have been 6. I would notice because I stayed in different areas of Guyana and all this family, so staying there. But when they would get off of work, they would play dominoes.
Yeah.
Down, in
That's
the yard,
community.
or get beers and sit
that's
outside, play
relaxing.
music,
That's-
chill.
yeah.
I'm like, in America, when we get off of work, baby, we're going to bed. Ain't nobody hanging out in
And
nobody's
somebody
house.
else going to another job when they get off work. They get off
No,
one job,
most people
jump
are
on the
doing
bus,
that.
go straight
Yeah.
to another job, and then it's rinse, repeat, and and honestly, so a lot of people are doing it for the betterment of their families and whatnot. But like you said, if people would get more money, then they wouldn't have to do that, right? If things were and don't get me wrong, we love being in America. You see
Yeah.
us immigrants?
Yeah, we're still here. Clearly,
though-
it's not that bad.
Let's get this straight. Even though you may think working hard for us, we know working hard to be different.
Yeah.
So even though we relax when we're at home,
Yeah, let's be very
working
clear.
hard
We're
is
busting our
really
ass.
working hard.
And we don't have half the benefits that y'all got. We don't got half.
Working hard in the Caribbean is really working
And the
hard
sun is
in a
hot.
lot of instances. But that's why we're like, yo, that's it for me.
You
I'm
work into
good.
the
I
sweat
ain't trying
of
to
your
do nothing
balls.
additional. Because I've done jobs here and people make it seem, I try to not mention certain things because
Yeah.
if this gets to my coworker, but I work with people that breathe so heavy doing like nothing to me. And I'm like,
True.
this is nothing. I'm like,
Yeah.
this?
'Cause you know,
I'm like,
yeah.
I've worked hard. I know what working hard is outside in the sun, in the heat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, so even though you think, I'm working really hard, to us, it's like, we could work harder, but we don't want to. Why? We don't need to.
I had to get myself out of that matrix.
Yeah.
Like, I was definitely there. And it's, again, a lot of Americans are on antidepressants.
Yeah.
A lot of Americans, not just America, let me just say that, a lot of those living in America, because
Okay.
American or not, if
Yeah.
you're living here,
If
the
you're living here,
culture
you
will
fall in
affect
the
you.
yes,
So
yes.
hustle culture has put a lot of people on depression drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Hustle culture has put a lot of people on anxiety drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Hustle culture has made a lot of people separate from their families, separate from their religions. A lot of people can't practice, their religious practices
yeah.
because they don't have the time, they don't have the energy.
Yeah.
It has separated people from God. It has separated people from
From
their
their families
hobbies,
and-
from their
yeah,
family,
yeah,
like
all that.
basic little things.
Yeah.
And so when I realized that I was literally always sad, and then sometimes I will like think back on my week, like, what did I even do this week? Like,
Exactly.
it's such a blur
Yeah.
because you're always on go all the time. And guys, I'm an entrepreneur and a 9-to-5er.
Exactly.
So I remember at one point, well, at every point in my life, probably except for now,
Yeah.
because I
Doing-
made it a thing to stop. I always had, at minimum, 3
Minimum?
jobs.
Jeez.
At minimum.
That's crazy.
I got my degree while having 3 jobs.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I was teaching dance. I was doing makeup. And, I was teaching dance at 2 different schools. And then I was doing makeup. And then I was also performing because
Right.
when I would get booked performances.
Yeah.
And then I was doing school.
And most of those are things that don't have a steady
No,
time limit.
no, they
That's
don't have
crazy.
steady. So my schedule was always like
All over
random.
the place, yeah.
And then it turned into me. I was working in tax, doing taxes, and then teaching dance, and then doing makeup on the weekend. So I was literally always
Yeah,
in.
you just
Then when
in
I got into
rotation.
sales, I was doing sales. Then I got off, did dance,
Mm-hmm.
and then if I had makeup
You're just
bookings
working,
or
you're
whatever,
just
it
living
was
to
all
work.
the time. When I say I literally
Jeez.
burnt out to the point of even now I'm still recovering from burnout. Thank God. Shout out to Tia, my therapist. Shout out to Dr. Lawrence, my psychiatrist. Now I'm at a space where after taking that trip to Guyana, I realized that, wait a minute, I'm in control.
Yeah.
I don't have to live a life like this. Like, what am I even doing this for? Why am I I don't got kids. I don't got a man. I don't have to go as hard.
Right.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Granted, I have a future that I want to achieve,
Right,
but I
and you're
have
planning for that.
time. What this hustle culture also makes you feel like you don't have enough time, so you need to continue like the rat race. Like you got to keep going because if you rest, wasting time,
You're
something
wasting,
can
it's like,
happen.
you could have,
You guys, if you're watching this right now and
guilty
you
for
feel like
resting.
you're on that hamster wheel, you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay? If you don't get that report done, nobody's going to die. If you don't, no one is going to die unless you're a doctor. Someone probably will die, so you want to keep your day job.
Yeah.
But you are 100% in control. You have to make the decision to be intentional with your time. So if you're gonna be working, be intentional what type of jobs. Y'all know me. I literally went off the grid, got a second, a bunch of certificates,
Yeah.
a post-grad degree. Like, I went ahead and did things because I wanted to work a job that paid more.
Right.
Because I'm like, I'm not about to
Right,
why
yeah.
do 500 jobs when I could just apply myself, put it
Exactly.
on? I got super intentional and literally, what, doubled my income in a span of a year.
Of a year. And
So-
that's the thing. You do have control. You need to be specific.
got
so the
options,
same way an
yeah.
entrepreneur needs to be specific in how they're going to go about marketing, how they're going to go about getting their name out there, how they're going to go about the X's and the O's and all that stuff. Working a 9 to 5, you can figure out. This is one thing I learned in the last 2 years, right? So this photographer I follow, he posted something and he said, I can't remember what the exact post was, but when I sent him a DM, he said, what a lot of people don't realize is that they think that's working, and this is not, we're talking about hustle culture. I'm coming at 9 to 5 here. I want 9 to 5ers to understand. You might be saying right now, based on what we said, like, yeah, it's easy for you to say that, but I already put 15 years in, I put 20 years in, I'm waiting to retire. Bro, if you die right now, they taking all that money. You're not even going to get to live off of the retirement money. So think about that. The next thing is this. Moving from one company to another company is one of the fastest ways to change the amount of money you make and change your lifestyle.
Yeah.
So you could be in that 9 to 5 position, get a certification, get a class, do some,
certification.
become
There's
a
ways,
teacher,
there's
an instructor for
options.
something.
Yeah, you have
and you can
options.
that simple thing is going to move you into a different salary category. And then, okay, now you got an extra 15,000 for the year, extra 20, 30,000 for the year or whatever, that now, okay, I can manage this. I don't have to, I could let
You
go
don't
to
have to go
part-time.
as hard. You
Yeah.
don't have to
like
go as
the
hard.
idea that this is the way. And
Guys,
people
y'all
love
have
to say like,
options.
this is American and that's, you could go
It's
ahead,
the
bro.
American way,
I'm
yeah.
a be American, live here, enjoy traveling and do all that and not work that hard. That's my goal. My goal is to, now I'm thinking, when I get certain jobs, because my time is so constrained, I'm gonna give it out to another photographer and make a little less.
No, I've done that too.
Think about,
If
think about,
I don't
think-
have to, I
think about
really don't
somebody's-
have to.
Somebody wants to
I'm
pay.
not struggling. There's no reason for me to hog
Think
all
about
the
it, yeah.
opportunities. Like,
exactly.
I'm
Somebody wants to
okay.
pay $1,000, and I'm like, okay, how much you gonna charge, Will? Will's like $600. Okay, cool. I'm gonna make the $400 just being a middleman, and I do nothing.
Right. Granted, you make less, but you also put in
I'm
way
just a
less
middleman.
time.
So much people
and
making money
energy.
being the middleman.
Yeah.
Just putting this person in contact with that person, and that's how I'm about to approach things. Because sometimes you think like, I have to do it. I have to do it. I don't want to lose.
You
this-
really don't
Yeah,
have to. You
don't
really
have
don't have to. And again, be intentional.
Yeah.
And it's not about moving fast. It's about moving right.
to. And enjoy life.
And you know what
Stop.
else I want to add? Yes, enjoy life. You can die tomorrow. Again, all of this
Oh my
stuff is going
gosh,
right down the
that's a
drain,
whole-
right?
Yeah.
I also want to add, especially if you're a Christian, remember when I said it was demonic? It's also a form of idolatry to participate in hustle culture.
You're working that much.
You are idolizing
Work.
your job. You're idolizing work, especially if you're serving a God that is sufficient. You don't have to do all of that. You just really don't. Now it's a question of how strong is your faith?
Right.
Now
Yeah.
that's the question.
Yeah.
How strong is your faith? So I really would implore you all, reconsider. You have options. There are people out there surviving off of a good, a
Good
decent
income,
little
yeah,
income.
yeah.
Sometimes 50,000
Yeah.
a year,
They
sometimes
got
a
something
little
in the
less.
markets,
They make
got-
it
yeah,
work.
they make it work.
They're not burning themselves
They
out.
going on
You have
cruises. They going on cruises. They going to Vegas. And that's one thing I like with America outside of the salary stuff. There's so many ways to enjoy life.
Yes.
That's not like there are
Super
people like
duper
you get,
expensive,
you get, and not only that, you have like credit cards with points. And I don't want to stray too much, but there's credit card with points. There's certain programs you can be
There's so
part
many
of
opportunities,
that can
yeah.
cut back on the expenditure and like relax, because if you fall down with an aneurysm or you break your leg, the company's going to find a replacement.
Not just that, but if you
keep
achieve all
going.
the goals that you want to achieve, you can't enjoy it if you're depressed, right?
Exactly.
Like, and also I want to be very clear on something before we close. I believe in seasons, right? There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I'm a lock in
Yeah,
and I'm gonna just use this year to like
with an outcome. Yeah.
just go hard, no parties,
True.
limit family time, whatever.
Yeah.
seasons.
Seasons,
It's okay to say, you know what? Because I did that. I said, okay, for the next 6 months, I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna get off of Instagram. I'm gonna do what I have to do. Literally, did Harvard Business School.
Right.
Freaking.
She
I did
was-
mad
she's like,
stuff
I'm at
within that.
Harvard. I was like,
I literally again, I was intentional. So it's okay to lock in for a season, but to make it your lifestyle, hustling all the time,
Yeah.
we were not built for that. Like human beings are hardwired to build meaningful connections.
Yes.
We're hardwired for bonding.
Yeah.
We're hardwired for relationships.
Yeah.
So when you neglect that, you neglect a very huge part of self-soothing. You neglect a very huge part of self-care. You know?
And for the husbands out there, you're wondering, oh, I provide so much for the family. I work so hard. Yeah, you're working so hard. Your family doesn't have a human you. They don't have a soft you. They don't have a caring you. They don't have a present you. You're just a body there because they see you come and go. You take a shower, you go.
No
you're
memories.
agitated.
Yeah.
You know, you're not there for certain aspects of your kid's life. And, you know, yeah, well, this is for the family. Well, the family needs the family version of you. They don't just need your wallet. You know, they don't just need your wallet. That's where the problems. So many Hollywood stars and stuff talk about how, you know, they were working so hard and then their kids grew up and they're 17 and, you know, they have a nanny taking care of them and then they realize they missed that part of the kid's life because they were present, because they were working so hard. I mean, and think about it, you in Hollywood. Do you really need to work that? It's so crazy. The people that are making a lot of money still think we got to hustle.
Right. So
It's
here
crazy.
we are. We're aspiring for their
That's
level.
ridiculous.
And even at that level,
They still hustle.
they're still
That's ridiculous.
hustling.
We got to
At
wrap
some
because
point
that's a
has
good
to
point.
end.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, but I think
Now that I
all
think
in
about
all, what we're saying is just to, you know, bring it back in.
Yeah.
Like, comment, share, subscribe.
You bet.
Just to bring it back in, you know, you have options. Sit down.
Yes.
And assess your options. What is the best way for me to use my time to where I can still make time for the people that I love? Where I can still make time to do things I actually
That
enjoy.
I like,
And you know
yes.
what's crazy? You're going to realize you don't even know what you enjoy.
Oh, it's like, what do I do with all this time?
Literally, I was sitting
Yeah.
there like, I hate when people ask me like, oh, what's your hobbies? I'm like, hobbies?
You like taking a nap?
What? No, I literally asked my therapist asked me that. I was like, does sleeping count? Like, I like to take naps. Like,
Which is
she was
crazy
like,
because that
no.
even lends to hustle because it's like you can't just rest. It has to be a hobby. What do you do with your free time? I have to be active. I have to be a hiker. I have to. It's like why can't you just
Why
sit and
can't I
watch
just chill?
Netflix or sit and just play video games? Why you know your hobby has to be. You don't play tennis. You don't. It's like no. I just like to sit and just listen to nature or
Listen,
something.
I made it very clear. I wrote it down in a journal. I said, this is what I'm doing. I made a checklist. These are the things I'm going to do. This is the type. I need more free time. I got a
Right.
job that gives me, I work 9 to 6, Monday through Thursday. Fridays, we work till half a day. So I have from half a day Friday until the end of Sunday to
Right.
just, I can use it
Yeah.
to do my own little things on the side
Yeah.
or my entrepreneurship stuff or whatever. But I made sure, I'm like, no, this is the type of time.
I
I'm
actually
not
get frustrated
going
when I
crazy
don't have
no
time to
more.
rest. So I know with the second job that
Yeah.
I'm doing, every weekend in September was going to be booked up, and I was frustrated before September started because I know, okay, I know why I'm
Anxiety.
doing it.
Anxiety.
I know what but I'm
Yes.
like, bro, you know, I called out one day. I was feeling a
called
little
out
sick.
Monday.
I was feeling a little sick. I probably could have pushed through, but I was like,
I
I
had
need one
migraines.
day
I
in
wasn't
September
going
for
to.
myself. Give me this day. And that one day made so much of a difference because guess what? I was working. I installed a dishwasher. But it was so much of a pleasure because
You
the
did it on
family is
your own
benefiting
time,
from it.
yeah.
You know?
So
Yeah.
awesome. So now's our time to get into deep dive.
Yeah, deep dive.
I memorized the question, so I don't have
Oh,
to.
okay,
yeah,
okay. There you
I
go.
don't have to have to scroll and all that. I don't even know what's been going on.
Yeah, I don't
But
know myself.
so deep dive.
Mm-hmm.
This is the part of the episode we play a little gamey game where you guys send us any question and we have to answer it. Okay.
Yes. With a deep,
In
thoughtful-
detail.
In detail.
So, question of the day.
Mm-hmm.
As you get older,
Uh-oh.
what is something that frustrates you more?
As I get older, what is something that frustrates me more? Just
That
anything?
that didn't frustrate you when you were young.
this might be crazy, sound crazy, but it comes back to me. What frustrates me more is myself. I know. Hold on, listen up.
What?
So what frustrates me a lot is that I'm like, today something happened and I spoke up for myself. I wouldn't say I spoke up for myself, but I replied in a manner that I would not normally have. And I'm like, yeah, you're old enough to reply that way. You know that. Talking to myself. So what frustrates me is like, why am I still in my head feeling, sometimes in your head, I don't know if it happens to you or other people, but you still, when certain situations are applied, you go back to like when you were younger, how you do it. It's almost like you walk around with how you would approach it when you were a certain age, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm at the age where I can say what I feel like and not care about what the person thinks, but let the person know this is what I feel like, and I'm letting you know what I feel like about this
Yeah,
topic.
that's called showing up for yourself.
So So what was the question again? Just to
What
line up-
frustrates you more as you get older?
So what frustrates me more is what? Wait, but did I even make sense by answering that way?
Yeah.
I kind of did, right? So what frustrates me more is this
you
that
trying to pander to
me
people's feelings.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it frustrates me. So now the opposite is now me
You're
just
less
like
tolerant of.
yeah. So it's like just say it, just speak, just let it be known, and don't try to think for the person. Yeah. I guess that's really deep because it
Yeah.
sounds weird, but hopefully somebody understands what I mean.
For
Your
me,
turn.
surface level conversations, small talk, hate it. Hate it.
You know what?
That's why it's called slow to speak, think deep. If you ain't got nothing to say to me,
That frustrated me all my life.
just don't say it.
That frustrated
No,
me all
young.
my
When
life.
I was younger, I never paid too much.
You would
paid too much
let
mind.
it just.
Now that I'm older, I'm like, yo, oh my God. If you don't have nothing to say, don't say nothing.
Yeah.
It's okay. Silence is fine. If you look at me and say, oh, oh, great. How you doing? Oh, good day. Give me one of these.
Right. Yeah.
Walk by me and
Yeah.
do the, I'm okay with it. You don't have to chat me up.
Yeah.
You really don't. But I love conversations that are actually meaningful. You know what else I don't like as I get older?
What?
Gossip.
I never liked that.
Oh, yeah, I'm a girl. It's
Yeah.
what we do.
Point taken.
But as I get older, it's like, all right, man, we about to sit down talking about somebody's business all day. Like,
He's
come
like, I
on
ain't got
now.
time for
Like,
this crap.
I don't got time
Yeah.
for this. Like,
Yeah.
let's, and more and more, I've been noticing I've been having more conversations with men and my guy friends more. I don't know, the girls still got the tea, but I'm starting to resent it.
Yeah.
Like, I
it's
really
like
don't
just an
like.
ick. It's
I
becoming
don't
an ick
want
now.
updates on somebody that like we don't talk
Just
to
randomly.
anymore. Like I really don't care. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I feel like before I used to like entertain it. It's like what the heck?
I was like, why not?
Tell me what you know.
Go ahead.
But now it's
Yeah.
like, okay, all right,
Like, why?
that's enough. Let's wrap
What's the
it up.
point?
You know,
Yeah.
that's my vibe. But no, I'm big on like the surface. Ooh, I can't the small talk. Oh, the weather. Yes,
I get anxious when I know a situation,
Sandra.
a small
The
talk
weather
situation
it's raining
is coming.
out. Yes.
I get anxious
Doesn't it make you
because
so
you know it's
anxious?
coming, and then I'm like, I hope this person is not a small talker. But you're like, but this is the right
then I gotta-
situation for them to be a small talker, and
Then I got to think about what I have to say,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh well, you know.
yeah. So
But
this, you know, it's like this second job that I do. I hope none of them sees this. But this second job that I do, we drive to destinations for the weddings, for the events and stuff, right? And every time I get a new person to drive with, I'm like, man, I hope they're not a talker. Because sometimes you go in for like 30 minutes or an
That's
hour.
how I feel about Ubers.
And I'm so happy when I
That's how I feel
when
about
I
Uber
worked
drivers.
Uber, when I
Don't
was
talk
a
to
driver,
me.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope they don't talk. I hope they don't talk. I hope they don't talk. And
That's how I'd be as a passenger. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'd never. And then when I would have conversations, I'll be forced to talk because I don't want them to say, to give me a negative review. So I would have to engage
yeah.
with them because even
So
though
where
there
you
was-
from? How long you been doing this? How long you been doing this? How
You.
long you been doing? Oh my God! Shoot
Can
me
I
in
talk to
between the
somebody
eyes.
who probably would never seen this? You, Missy. You know you were too drunk to go home that night in your car, and I was your Uber, and we had a great conversation on Route 21 in Newark, and it was amazing. And you gave me a 4 stars? Really? when I was forced to talk to you, I hope you see this. We can go ahead. Yeah. I'm sorry. I know I went off track, but yeah. That hurt. I thought if this thing was going so good, I was
And
like,
this
oh
is
yeah,
why you
I'm
just
up for
don't say
talk. That's
nothing.
why I don't like the
That's
damn
why you
small
don't say
talk.
nothing.
I went so extra that day too. Maybe that's the reason.
Man, I love me a genuine conversation.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's just so much better. All right, well, that
Deep
is
dive.
it for today. No, I was about to say tonight, but
Tonight.
y'all are probably watching this in a day.
Whenever you're watching it.
I can't wait for the next talk. I think our next topic is going to be as equally engaging.
Okay. Here we go.
We'll see you guys
In
in
the
our
next one.
next episode. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and
yeah.
comment below.
Please do.
How do you feel about hustle culture? Are you American? Are you not? Do you feel like there's a difference? If you are an immigrant and you've experienced the different sides,
Yes.
how do you feel about how hustle culture influences, I guess, more than just America, but like other countries too?
Of course.
Because I know Japan, it definitely don't work there. We love you guys. See you
Yes.
next episode.
We are.
Peace.